The history of perspective. It's important for students to not only know how to draw a 1-point or 2-point perspective, but also to know how perspective techniques came about, who used them, and why they're important. What artists did before perspective drawing was developed. Simply draw objects or people in a painting larger than the objects in order to show their overall importance to the subject matter. This did effectively imply the message they wanted to send in their artwork, but did not show much realism or depth. At the beginning of the Renaissance, or 1300s, there was a desire for greater realism and depth within their artwork. They especially wanted to show this in their architectural drawings of exterior and interior spaces, basically anything that had to deal with buildings. This simple perspective created the visual illusion of three-dimensional space on a two-dimensional flat surface, making the appearance of things smaller as they go further back in the distance. Philosophers of this time believed that man is the measure of all things. As a result, an invention of the mathematical system based on proportions of the human body to enable artists to use perspective was made. Brunelleschi's 1-point invention was created, and some other names for this invention were mathematical perspective, linear perspective, and Renaissance perspective. As mentioned, the person who created perspective was Filippo Brunelleschi. Perspective gained popularity throughout Europe. Renaissance artists became fascinated with drawing geometric shapes and images. They showed their ability to use 1-point and 2-point perspective through drawing of tile floors, large buildings, and interior rooms. They constructed different methods used to show theory by constructing devices with peepholes, created mathematical formulas to help figure out measurements, and created grids to provide reference points. Another artist during the Renaissance who also used perspective was Paolo Uccello, who was said to be so obsessed with 1-point perspective that he talked about it in his sleep. His wife accused him of having a mistress named Perspective because of that. There are different forms of perspective. There's 1-point, 2-point, 3-point, aerial, and more. In today's world, it's widely used in drafting and in artwork. When used in today's artwork, it is used to make the viewer feel a direct physical connection to the picture space, and it creates a sense of real depth.